Hello everyone, and welcome to the 7th collaborative video between Nurture Soap Supplies and Royalty Soaps for the Royalty Soaps piping set. Today we are going to be making these adorable little soapy cupcakes. And yes, they are 100% soap, and make perfect gifts for baby showers or wedding showers, and are even great as stocking stuffers. So let's go ahead and get started! So first thing is first, let's talk about the two different batches that we're going to be making. They both have the exact same amount of oils in them, but they do not have the same amount of lye water concentration, so your water and the lye that you mix up will still be two different amounts. So this is the base oil right here. This has our recipe that I have tailored for the soap cupcakes, and once again I will have all of the recipes and the ingredients and every single thing down in the description box below. To these base oils, which are now completely melted and around 80 degrees, I have added 3/4 of a teaspoon of Nurture Soap Shimmer Gold Mica and 1/4 of a teaspoon of their copper penny mica. And then over here for the frosting, I have done nothing. I have not added any colorants to the oils. Then right here I have mixed up my lye water solution, and to it for the base oils I have added about 1/2 teaspoon of water-soluble titanium dioxide. And then over here for the frosting I have added a full 1 teaspoon of water-soluble titanium dioxide because I want the frosting to be white and I want this to look sort of like a muted coppery gold color because this is oatmeal milk and honey. And of course for the fragrance I will be using the Nurture Soap Oatmeal Milk and Honey Fragrance Oil. I will be putting 1 ounce into the base oils and I will be putting another ounce into the frosting. So let's start by mixing up our base oil mixture and lye water solution and pouring it into the silicone cupcake liners. Before we mix up this base soap, I'm going to go ahead and add our fragrance oil. It smells so great. This is the best oatmeal milk and honey fragrance oil I have ever smelled. So I'm going to take my stick blender and I'm not even going to turn it on. I'm just going to use it to sort of incorporate the fragrance oil into the soap, or the oils rather. And then I'm going to place it into my lye water solution and I'm going to mix it up real good with the titanium dioxide in it. Once that's good and incorporated, I'm going to put my stick blender back in the bowl and I'm going to pour the lye water solution down the head of the stick blender. Dump that all in there real good, and then we're going to start blending this on low. So this is what it's going to look like once it has been properly mixed up. I'm going to set my stick blender off to the side and we're going to pour this into our cupcake containers. Now we can start the pouring process. It really helps to have a mixing bowl that has a pour spout on it. Really makes it a lot more precise. And you're just going to pour until it is almost completely full to the top. That's how I like to do mine. Bit left over, so I have grabbed another cupcake liner and placed it here, and so I'm just going to pour my excess into there. And then this has already sat for a little bit and it's already going to start sitting up, so any little bits that I have left I kind of just sprinkle it on the top. You could also use this little bit to put in a separate mold if you wanted to maybe hand out samples. I personally think that soap cupcakes look a lot better if the base of the cupcake or the bottom of the cupcake is full and looks really, really big. I think the short ones don't look as accurate, so do try to fill these up as much as you can and scrape out as much as you can out of the bowl. I'm going to leave these alone now while I am messing with the frosting and letting that set up, and by the time that you're ready to pipe these, the recipe will have already set up to such a state that whenever you put anything on top, the base soap won't move and it won't sort of like absorb the frosting. We're going to prepare layer the soap frosting just like we have in all of the other instructional tutorials. So the first thing that we're going to do is add our fragrance oil. This is the only thing that is different from the other tutorials, is that we're adding fragrance oil to this batch. So for 25 ounces, I am adding only 1 ounce of fragrance oil. Depending on your fragrance oil and depending on how strong you want the scent to be, you may add more than that. After I have mixed in the fragrance oil to the other oils, I am going to mix up my lye water solution with the titanium dioxide. That being finished, I am going to stick my stick blender into the oils, shake it really good so that all the bubbles come up, and then I am going to pour the lye water solution down the stick blender just like that. Then I'm going to mix it up. I am going to leave my frosting a more creamy color like this, but if you would like it to be more white, you can add more titanium dioxide than I did. You know, I said that, and then I went ahead and added just a little bit more. So instead of 1 teaspoon, I added about 1.5 teaspoons. So I'm going to mix that up a little bit more. Alright, so that's good and incorporated. I'm going to tap all of the extra off of my stick blender. I'm going to set the little motorized part off to the side, and then I'm going to go rinse off this in the sink. Now we're going to let this sit until it becomes the proper consistency as displayed in the other videos, and we are going to prep our piping bag. Just in case this is your first time piping soap cupcakes, we're going to start off with the easiest piping setup. So we have here the large coupler and coupler lid, we have the large piping bag, and we have the Atico 849 closed star tip. I find that out of all the tips that I have, this is the very best one for piping soap cupcakes, especially if you're just starting out. So we're just going to assemble this right now, and then we will wait to fill it until the piping has set up to the proper consistency. My piping bag is now filled with the frosting, about this much, and I'm going to twist the top. And then the first thing we're going to do is hold the piping bag absolutely straight up and down. Don't put an angle on it at all. And you're going to squeeze a little dollop about that big right into the center of your cupcakes. Just like this, into every single one. Make sure that you push down and then pull up just a little bit. Now I'm going to spray this with 91% rubbing alcohol. Just give it a good spritz all over. This is going to help the frosting stick to the base of the cupcake. Then, once again, you're going to go quite slowly all the way around the cupcake. Just like this. So it's going to make a perfect circle, and that's what that middle part is for. It's sort of acting as a guide. And you're going to hold the piping bag straight up and down again. No angle on it. Go quite slowly so you can guide the frosting properly. Then for the second layer, you're not going to put a dollop in the middle like you did for the bottom. You're going to make a smaller circle on the very top. So I'm going to start here on the outside, make a little circle, and then I'm going to add a little bit to the top. Now, if you'd rather not add that little bit and just make a circle like that, you can do that as well. Just like this. So see, I'm just pulling it, the little tail inwards, just like I did on the bottom. Just like that. Little circle. You hardly even have to move the piping bag. That's how little the circle is. Then if you have some left over, you can go and place a little tiny bit in the middle, just like you did on the very bottom row. Just put one little dollop. The piping recipe is a little bit more accurate than the base soap recipe. So whereas the base soap may yield anywhere from 12 to 13 cupcakes, the piping recipe really only pipes 12. So the little bit of extra here, I put on the extra soap cupcake, and that one I'm going to give to my mom. There's a variety of different ways you can decorate soap cupcakes, but today I'm going to use some biodegradable glitter from Nurture Soap, and I'm just going to sprinkle that all over the top. Some people like to put sprinkles on theirs, or little bits of colored salt, or mica drizzlings, or more soapy embeds. But today I am just going to use some of the glitter and a little round soap gumball. Now these soap gumballs I colored with the exact same colorants that I colored the base soap with. So I used a touch of copper penny and a lot of shimmer gold mica, and then once they were ready I rolled them around in the mica as well, so they are super sparkly. I will leave the little recipe for the soap gumball embeds down below, as well as a video tutorial explaining how you can get the melt and pour, the colorants, and the mold from Nurture Soap. I'm just going to put these right on the top, gently pushing them in. Your soap cupcakes are complete. Let these soapy cupcakes sit for 18 to 24 hours before you unmold them. If you see that it is too difficult to take the soap base out of the silicone liner, just wait a couple of more hours until it peels off clean. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the Royalty Soaps channel and check out the awesome raw materials over at Nurture Soap. Links to everything in this video can again be found down in the description box down below, and I can't wait until I see you next time in another tutorial. So until next time, have a royal day.